Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join me as we explore Southwest's lost historical characters, stunning desert vistas, forgotten Native American history, or tales of lost gold mines. There's always something new to discover. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. Sit back and enjoy. Welcome to Southwest Desert, where we explore the untold stories that shaped our world. Today, we're diving into a tragic and pivotal moment in American colonial history, the Acoma Massacre of 1599. This event, while less widely known than many other colonial conflicts, represents one of the most devastating clashes between Spanish colonizers and Native Americans in what is now New Mexico. Picture, if you will, a towering mesa rising from the New Mexican desert, its sheer cliffs stretching hundreds of feet into the sky. This natural fortress is home to the Acoma Pueblo, often called Sky City, where the Cares people had lived for generations before the arrival of Spanish colonizers. It's here that one of the bloodiest chapters in colonial history would unfold. The story begins in the late 1500s, when the Spanish crown was aggressively expanding its territory in the New World. The Spanish monarchy had its eyes set on the lands of the Pueblo peoples, viewing these territories as crucial pieces in their ever-growing colonial empire of New Spain. In 1595, King Philip II granted Juan de Oñate permission to colonize what they called Santa Fe de Nuevo Mexico, a vast territory that encompassed numerous Native American communities, including the Acoma Pueblo. Now, it's important to understand that the relationship between the Spanish and the Acoma people hadn't always been hostile. After initial contact in 1540, interactions were largely peaceful, partly because the Acoma people significantly outnumbered the Spanish colonizers. But by 1598, everything changed. The Acoma spiritual leader Zuda Capon had uncovered disturbing Spanish plans that would forever alter their way of life. These plans weren't just about territorial expansion. They were about complete cultural domination. The Spanish intended to forcefully conquer the Acoma Pueblo, relocate its people to the valley below, and implement the notorious encomienda system, a form of forced labor that amounted to virtual slavery. Beyond this, they planned to force the Acoma people to convert to Catholicism and abandon their traditional spiritual practices. It was nothing less than cultural genocide wrapped in the guise of civilization. Thank you for joining your desert frontiersman Alan for another Southwest Lost Tale. If you would like to help support my time and channel, hit the Super Thanks heart icon on the bottom of the video and contribute. Relax and enjoy. The spark that would ignite this powder keg came on December 4th, 1598. Juan de Zaldívar, the nephew of Juan de Oñate, arrived at the Acoma Pueblo with 16 men. What might have been a routine visit quickly spiraled into violence when Zaldivar demanded food and shelter from the Acoma people. When they refused, Zaldivar's men took matters into their own hands, invading homes, destroying property, and stealing maize and blankets. In a particularly cruel act, they left Cares women stripped of their clothing, exposed and humiliated in front of their children. The Acoma people, faced with this violation of their homes and dignity, fought back. In the ensuing conflict, Zaldivar and 11 of his men were killed. While the Spanish would later frame this as an unprovoked attack, the Acoma people were clearly defending themselves against armed invaders who had violated the most basic principles of human dignity. The response from Juan de Oñate was swift and merciless. He ordered Vicente de Zaldívar, the brother of the slain Juan, to lead a punitive expedition against the Acoma Pueblo. On January 21, 1599, about 70 Spanish soldiers departed from San Juan Pueblo, carrying with them not just weapons, but the weight of colonial vengeance. The battle that followed would last 3 days, and it demonstrated the devastating impact of technological superiority in colonial warfare. For the first 2 days, the Acoma people successfully defended their mesatop home, using their knowledge of the terrain and their numerical advantage to hold off the Spanish forces. But on the 3rd day, everything changed when the Spanish deployed a small cannon. This weapon, though modest by modern standards, was something the Acoma had never encountered before. The cannon fire created breaches in the Pueblo's defenses, and a large fire broke out, destroying many Acoma homes. As smoke filled the air and flames consumed their dwellings, the Spanish forces stormed the settlement. What followed was nothing short of a massacre. The numbers are staggering and heartbreaking. Before the battle, the Acoma Pueblo was home to approximately 4,000 people, including about 1,000 warriors. When the Spanish were done, about 500 men and 300 women and children lay dead. But death was not the end of the suffering for the survivors. The Spanish took 500 prisoners, and what followed was a systematic program of punishment that can only be described as cruel and unusual. Males over 25 years old were sentenced to have their right foot amputated and serve 20 years in slavery. Males between 12 and 25 were sentenced to 20 years of slavery without mutilation. Women over 12 were also condemned to 20 years of slavery. In total, 24 men suffered through the horror of having their foot amputated. The dispersal of the survivors reads like a catalog of colonial cruelty. Most were distributed among government officials or Franciscan missions. 60 of the youngest women were sent to convents in Mexico City, torn from their families and their culture. In a particularly grotesque act of psychological warfare, 2 Hopi prisoners had their hands cut off and were released to spread the warning to other pueblos about the consequences of resistance. The immediate aftermath saw the temporary abandonment of the pueblo. However, the resilience of the Acoma people would prove stronger than Spanish cruelty. By 1601, some of those who had escaped began to return and rebuild their pueblo. In fact, that rebuilt pueblo still stands today, a testament to the enduring strength of the Acoma people. Even the Spanish crown eventually acknowledged the excessive cruelty of these actions. King Philip III banished Oñate from New Mexico for his brutality, forcing him to return to Spain in disgrace. However, this punishment came too late for the hundreds who had lost their lives or suffered under his command. The Acoma Massacre stands as a dark chapter in colonial history, one that exemplifies the brutal nature of colonial expansion and the devastating impact it had on Native American communities. It's a story of cultural collision, of technological superiority being used to devastating effect, and of the human capacity for both cruelty and resilience. Today, the Acoma Pueblo still stands atop its mesa, the oldest continuously inhabited community in North America. Its continued existence serves as both a memorial to those who suffered in the massacre and a testament to the strength of the Acoma people who refused to let their culture die. The Pueblo's survival reminds us that, while historical trauma runs deep, so too does the human spirit's capacity for survival and renewal. The events of 1599 may seem distant to us now, but their echoes continue to resonate. The Acoma Massacre forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about colonialism, about the justifications used for violence, and about the long-lasting impacts of historical trauma on indigenous communities. It's a reminder that history isn't just a collection of dates and facts. It's a living story that continues to shape our world today. As we conclude our exploration of this tragic event, It's worth reflecting on how such knowledge should inform our present. Understanding the full scope of colonial violence isn't just about acknowledging past wrongs, it's about recognizing the resilience of indigenous peoples and working toward a future where such atrocities can never happen again. This has been Southwest Desert. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of history's darker chapters. Remember, it's only by confronting our past, in all its complexity and tragedy, that we can hope to build a better future. If you'd like to learn more about the Acoma Pueblo and its people, I encourage you to visit the Pueblo itself, which welcomes respectful visitors who wish to learn about their history and culture. Check out my large catalog of Southwest videos and playlists. Happy trails! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.